Sabi with a basket drang. A basket drang.
We growy Ferducci.
Muna no zabi inyaka. Muna zabi apa.
Aganarang is new.
Zobi u chabadu bunny. Heluna a sinka. Tobe ke raka. Flankas lane. Ubalaki on maka.
Soon to have Beezer.
Yuba blanc mimsy. Yuba blanc mimsy abake. Yuba blanc mimsy. Yuba blanc mimsy obaki.
Bubsy Gurney.
Yuba blanc mimsy. Yuba blanc mimsy obaki. Roba so mimsy even. Oh.
Itubi.
Heluna a sinka. Tobe.
Signas this Fugo.
Uib swain. Uib flankas lane.
Hi everyone, welcome back to MySims Kingdom, and here we are at the Royal Academy. This was one of my favorite, if not my favorite, level in the game when I was a kid, so I just kind of inadvertently left it for last. I don't know why these figurines always do this, where they like don't let you pick them up at first, but whatever. Anyway, this is the last regular level of the game. At some point during this, we are going to exceed 5 king points. Or 5, big, whatever they call the big ones. 5 levels. I just call them levels, usually. And we will be invited back to Capital Island to do some things. And then we can go to every place else that we've gone to, and every character on every island will have at least one thing for you to do for them. And to give you a heads up on what kinds of things they are, it's pretty much just like decorating, repainting, stuff like that. I think maybe getting like fulfilling scrolls. And I can't imagine that it's terribly interesting. I don't know if the Return to Capital Island is meant to be the end of the game, but it's always where I stopped playing, and at the very least, I feel like there's not much interest in spending several more videos backtracking to levels that I've already done to show off even like sped up and very heavily cut together footage of me doing kind of menial and not super interesting missions. So I think I'm going to be leaving that part out of at least the LP. Maybe if there's any interest sometime down the line, I can stream that stuff. I can't imagine there's too much of it, but honestly, like, I feel like what little interest there was in this LP as I upload it is seriously waning. I have the B-movie game LP to really focus on, and also I'm thinking of, with the exception of maybe, the occasional Let's Try or a very short LP of something that's like, 3 to 6 videos or whatever, for the most part, I'm wanting to transition into basically just having one major LP going on this channel at a time, and then dedicating the rest of the time to trying to stream more. I'd like to get to 3 times a week if I can help it, with at least 2 of them being playing through a game, or whether it be a multiplayer game that I'm playing through with people, or a single-player game, or whatever. And then maybe 1 a week where it's just kind of hanging out, or maybe watching something. I've been thinking of some stuff. I haven't watched something on stream in a long time, so I've been thinking of stuff to do for that. And also just in terms of time management, because with, my job and everything, and, anything else in life, it's hard to take up 2 LPs at once and also try to stream and also try to, like, do the things that I enjoy doing, like playing games and watching stuff, for leisure, and also, you know, have a social life and, you know, give time to my friends and family and girlfriend and myself, and work and all that jazz. So, yeah, next time will more likely than not be the last part of this LP, and it's just going to be wrapping things up on Capital Island and giving some final thoughts on the game, I suppose. So I hope that's okay. Even for the people who like this LP, I can't imagine it'll be terribly missed, and I myself would really like to move on to some other stuff. As much as I like playing through this game, as much as it is a game that it is very much one of my big childhood games, like a lot of the other games I've LP'd on here, like the SpongeBob ones and Ratatouille and all that. Yeah, I think, you know, it's run its course. I've been doing this LP for a little over 2 months. I think it's time to wrap it up and move on to greener pastures. Anyway, here is one of the many tasks in this game that basically just amounts to fill this room with shit. So that's what I'm doing. And like I was saying, this was one of my favorite, if not my favorite, levels in this game growing up. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact I talked about this several videos ago in this run, about how I've realized that a lot of my enjoyment of some games like this when I was a kid came out of stuff that was purely going on in my head and had very little, if anything, to do with the actual quality of the game itself. Because these kinds of games, and even games that aren't, you know, don't sort of take on a simulation and or role-playing kind of theme, I guess, even, you know, games not like that, I was able to impose what I guess the kids these days would call a headcanon, where I'm essentially just making up a story in my head of what's going on in the game, making up little, you know, dialogue between the characters in my head, coming up with different dynamics, and with these MySims games, especially the first one, and then extended into this one, because I did play the first one first, I just left very predisposed to that sort of thing, and this level, because of its setting in a school, and my being a schoolboy at the time of playing it, it was very easy to project my, you know, my boyhood desires and interests into this, I suppose. Also, when I was, however old I would have been, 11 years old when I played this, also true of that time is that I was a complete sucker for any story about, like, school romance, because I never had those growing up, which, of course, when you're, like, 11 is completely normal and fine. But, you know, of course, at the time, mostly from, like, dumb kids at school and, like, TV shows, I was under the impression that I was, like, really shitting the bed, you know, not having preteen romance. And much of this level concerns this little love triangle between cool Chad Travis. Chaz is also a Chad, I suppose, but kind of in like a lamer way. Travis is a little more, I mean, he's a bit of a nerd, you know, he's a techie. He's in love with his cell phone. He probably, if this game came out now, he would probably like trade crypto, and he loves like Elon Musk, and like Andrew Yang and stuff. But yeah, I also forgot to change into the school uniform that they give you at the beginning, because I thought that might be more appropriate than my wizard robe, but I kind of like the regality of the wizard robe. And again, another scroll with a bunch of pencils. The fruit of this, or the tree thing of this level is oranges, which are cool. But yeah, it's like also like a fairly pleasant level. It's also heavily involves socializing. It's only a couple that have to do with like decorating and such. Very brief hooking stuff up with wires coming up in a moment. But it's mostly just yeah, being the liaison between these two ladies who both want to fuck Travis. And Travis is oblivious to it all. He's, you know, just fucking playing Candy Crush or whatever, reading the Bible on his BlackBerry. He wouldn't do that. I don't know why. He's not Obama. But anyway, I don't know. It's like, it's cute, I suppose. I mean, the whole game is very cutesy, as I've said before, and, you know, sometimes it can be a little, like, ugh, but other times it's fine. This isn't a very funny one. It does have some silly parts, but for the most part, it's just kind of, rote sort of stuff. Although it is cool, the part where you're inside the classroom at the beginning, and this whole thing in general, but the part where you're in the classroom and they're all like riffing and saying wacky things, it reminds me a lot of, like, you know, I mean, like a JRPG or something, you know, one of those anime RPG games where there's a lot of scenes of being at school and you know, in between fighting monsters or whatever the fuck, you have extended sequences of you know, Bildungsroman intrigue and romance. Kind of gives me those same vibes. Like the, I mean, I was gonna say like Persona 4 or the Persona games, but I've only played the first, like, 2 hours of Persona 4, which is about 0.5% of that game. So, I don't want to generalize about JRPGs, because I do know that there are plenty of them that do not have any parts that take place in a high school. However, I think you know what I mean. It gives me that same general vibe, and it's not a bad thing. It's just interesting. But yeah, I think it was mostly being a school-age kid that really drew me to this level and made the proceedings more interesting than they are as an adult, you know. But, you know, I've talked in previous Let's Plays before about how there are some times where I kind of wish I was back in school. School's pretty fun. I also think that school is the only reason that people like the summer. Or it's a big reason why people like the summer, because, I mean, maybe it's just where I live, but the summer is always pretty dreadfully hot, and it's been getting hotter over the course of my lifetime. But, you know, summer, it's like, when you just have a job, summer is just, oh, well, now I go to work, but it's really hot. But summer is cool when you're a kid, because it means you don't go to school. But, you know, that was also true of, like, winter break. It was just much shorter, but Christmas was during that, and you would get presents. I didn't get shit over the summer. Anyway, here's the first bit of... I think we've already done some socializing, but here's some. Yeah, you get a man talking about his phone, and it's just a couple... hop, skip, and a jump away from talking about his boner, but he only has a boner for his phone. So... Travis... That's the funny thing about this, is that Travis is kind of like a fucking loser. He's, like, super uninteresting. But, Hey, it's okay. The cool thing is you get to choose which girl ends up with Travis. You just decide the fate of these people's love lives. And they just kind of go with it. Either way. It would be cool if one of the results produced like a fight. If you could like make Chaz and Travis fight. That I imagine they could have made this level like a lot messier. That would be pretty cool. I'd like to see that version of this game where there's you can socialize, but there's not just one right way to do something. You can choose to fuck with them if you want. I think that would be pretty fun, and you can ruin their lives and date both of the girls and just take them away from them. Not that I like have a burning desire to do that or anything. The level's fine as it is. I'm just saying, you know, if you wanted to play with player choice in this game, you could make this a really soapy, you know, bit of palace intrigue. Except the palace is a school.
Stand by, do. Stand by. Putaki, heavy tor, gabiga, dargi. Yeah, bitazor. Somebody. Ooh. Ooh, a deep na woo. Juvap, taki noof. Imni dak ten rub, e. Kiwaga tuchu. Wakadoony herd. Huh. We blank. Free. Dali.
Maybe you can fucking go over there. Like, oh no, I forgot to go to my date that's happening right now. I need to stand here and make you get her a present to say that I'm sorry, instead of just like, I don't know, going there to the date. I don't know why they gave Liberty buck teeth and squinty eyes. It's a little strange. I love all her pieces of flair on her outfit, which is kind of a clusterfuck. Her knee socks. I guess it's easy to have knee socks in this game universe where everyone has those short, stocky legs. They should make like an MMO of the MySims universe. Oh shit. Oh, the drama. I'm glad that everyone in this game just says out loud their internal monologue, and the Wandalier is gifted with the ability of extreme hearing, so that you know. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a good day. I don't have much else to say about what is going on at the moment, other than, like, Summer could not be any less obvious that she likes Travis, and Travis is like, yeah, Summer, you're a great friend. I don't like you. Man. Yeah, Travis sucks. I didn't realize it when I was a kid, but I do now. He's Dumbo. He's at best oblivious, and at worst, I don't know, he keeps just going on these things that he calls dates with these ladies who are obviously swooning over him, and then he goes like, oh, friend, we're not dating. I don't know, that's silly. Anyway, here's the easiest, the least effort I've put into something ever, but they kind of invite it, because they don't really give you a whole lot of space to make anything that makes sense, and you just paint the fence, and then you're done. Ba-bam. And everyone's like, wow, I really stopped putting any effort into these. What little I was doing before, with these constructions and decor. Anyway, I was going to say, just, you know, a little bit of what I've been up to lately. I like to check in with these long-ass videos for those who actually watch through them, and I thank you for doing that. I hope that that these videos, these MySims Kingdom videos, I know that this isn't, and I've said this a few times, I hate to keep harping on it, because I'm not hurt by the, you know, small viewership. I actually completely anticipated it, but, you know, it was the principle of the thing. This is one of the several games that was on, like, the short list of games that I was gonna Let's Play whenever I had the ability to, from years back, along with, you know, Mario Sunshine, Battle for Bikini Bottom, and all the other ones that I've knocked out so far, and there's probably only a couple left, that were, like, the essential childhood games of Timmy. Also, I like this hedgehog. It's very fat and huge and cute. Very big for a hedgehog, if we are to believe these proportions. Hedgehogs in real life are very cute. I would love to have one as a pet, but I feel like I would be... I don't know. I feel like they're probably harder to take care of than I'm thinking. Anyway. So, what was I saying before I was saying stuff? Well, I was gonna say, to finish my last thought, that I hope that these videos, at the very least, provide something nice to have in the background. I hope that it's nice to just hear my beautiful voice. Anyway, so what have I been up to? Well, oops, I backed up into the shelf. I had to readjust my chair. Me and Walter and Custard and Tyler and that whole gang, or I guess not Tyler, but Walter made a new Minecraft realm and is probably going to transfer it to a formal server at some point. Just a regular old vanilla survival Minecraft server. We do this every, like, couple of years now. Where we, like, start a new one, and it lasts for a varying period of time. I would like to keep this one going, but, I mean, I say that all the time. It always invariably becomes that some people end up spending a lot of time at the beginning and, like, you know, get a bunch of shit really fast and kind of max out stuff and run out of stuff to do, and then the casual gamers like myself, you know, it's months down the line and we're still vibing, but no one wants to do shit, including, you know, eventually run the server, you know, have it exist. So I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, I guess it's gonna happen eventually, but I hope that we get a good amount of time together out of it. I'm, like, an incredibly slow Minecraft player compared to other people, at least when I'm doing things alone. I find that when it comes to, like, mining and looking for resources and, like, traversing the world looking for stuff and trying to complete the various things that you do when you play Minecraft, I find that I'm a lot better when I am doing it with someone. So, there's that. And also just I like to, you know, take my time with Minecraft. It's a very vibey game, and I'm usually playing it when I'd like to relax, so I'm not really not too much pressure to do anything, in particular.
Yali chaka. Chubala samani uya poya mamani ulabala. Chape baro dombi. Aluna chela.
This bit of socializing took a million years. Basically had to do every single thing. I had no idea that her thing was going to be snakes. Took me several tries to figure out that was the correct path. And then I didn't know that she doesn't want to hear a joke. She doesn't want to hear you talk about Travis. She wants to be tickled. So I'm here telling jokes like a dumbass, and that's getting me nowhere. And then I talk about Travis because I'm like, oh, well, she likes Travis, but then, oh no, that just makes her, you know, be pining and be forlorn because she's a hopeless romantic. So you have to give her a snake and a tickle. That's my getting girls to open up to you advice. Is give her snakes and a tickle in that order. You can do whatever you wish with that information. Yeah, I did a pretty good amount of essence hunting off screen, so no need to dick around on any of these scrolls. Just gonna put this magic through Buddy's fucking skull into my wand. This is all from a million years ago, that scroll, but yeah. Or, I guess not that one. One of the earlier ones was from, like, several levels ago. So, speeding this part up because it's not very interesting, and you've seen me place items in a room many times. I also had to, like, actually think about the spacing here, because it's kind of limited space for the number of things you have to put up. Of course, if I was actually strategic, I could think of, like, which things had the right combination of vibes to accompany people with the fewest items, accommodate people with the fewest items and the least mana possible. But instead, I just, you know, make lines of computers and then scatter a bunch of horse shit all over the house. And it's still not that very much space. I mean, I'm being forced to take some pretty obnoxious measures here. Because, I mean, I have to have the row of computers. And the two TVs in between two doorways. That's just a given. And then with this, it's like, okay, you want house stuff, cute stuff, and fucking tree stuff? Well, flower bed. And yeah, just threw up all flowers all over the lot, and there you go. It's perfect. It's the best thing they've ever seen. And here we have what I believe is our final message from Guillermo.
Oh, see Barbara Oh, Berkey Nerk.
Summer is just butting into this unrelated cutscene that has nothing to do with her. Anyway, so yeah, Minecraft server. We're doing that. That's been pretty fun. I've also been watching stuff. Liv and I have been making our way through M. Night Shyamalan's films. That's been pretty fun. Kind of a mixed bag, obviously, but some really good ones in there. And I can't say I really dislike any of them, honestly, that I've seen so far, at least. The next one in line, though, is The Happening, which I'm pretty excited to watch, because it seems like it'll be hilarious. Liv, however, on account of the existence of Mark Wahlberg and the general reputation of shittiness around that movie, is not as excited about it, but we'll see. I also like See You at the Dance, Chump, Bring a Hanky. It's pretty good. I also like the word hanky. So, now we have one last task, which is to make the perfect prom. And here I am in the wrong place trying to do that. And yeah, you need to paint things, which means you need to spawn some things to paint other than these arches and columns. So, that's a thing. Anyway, yeah, been watching stuff. What else have I been watching? I went to the movies and saw the movie The Card Counter with Oscar Isaac. It's a new Paul Schrader movie. Oscar Isaac plays a gambler who... I don't want to spoil it. He did some things. Some things relevant to recent U.S. history that haunt him. And it's about him reckoning with his demons, which is a lot of what Paul Schrader, almost all of Paul Schrader's movies are. I actually heard, I forget who it was, but someone described it very well, very aptly when they said, every Paul Schrader movie is a movie where the whole time you're going, oh my god, will he do it? And then he does it. So... it's pretty good though. Really liked it. Oscar Isaac is really good in it. Tiffany Haddish is great in it, and has lots of really good, beautiful and memorable images. So recommend that movie. And then right before recording this, I got done watching the movie Don't Let the River Beast Get You, which is a very low-budget horror comedy movie by Moturn Media. Collaboration of Charles Roxburgh and Matt Farley, who are two guys from New Hampshire. They've been... Matt Farley is actually a musician. He's made like thousands of songs on Spotify, most of them like folk and rock and like novelty songs. He's, goofy guy. And they've made several films over the last 20 years or so. And Don't Let the River Beast Get You is from 2012. It's all amateur actors, friends and family of theirs. Again, super low budget, and extremely funny. And highly recommend. It's on the streaming service Tubi, which is the people's streaming service. It has ads, so if you can handle ad breaks, but it's completely free. You don't even need an email or a credit card or anything to sign up for it. It's great. Anyway, here's the epic romantic dance scene, and yes, I've chosen Liberty, because even though, Summer and Travis, they kind of stereotypically would be the perfect couple because of their blonde hair and blue eyes, and their it girl and it guy status. And honestly, when I was a kid, I think I usually had Travis end up with Summer, but here, I like to root for the underdog. And Liberty seems like she deserves it more. Oh my god. That fucking line. I actually remember that line, just because, what of, man? I got everything I need right here. Speaking of, like, projecting and, like, headcanon as a kid playing this, it's so funny how now that, like, makes me recoil, that line, because it's so fucking corny, but when I was a kid, I was like, oh god, I wish that were me. It was so fucking funny. But yeah, I would usually make Travis and Summer get together because they're both, like, the hot blondes, but I honestly think that Summer, works better with Chaz. They're both kind of, boisterous, popular, people. And also, in a minute, they kind of tease your character and Lindsay getting together, which is interesting, because part of my little story in my head of this game when I would play through it is that Lindsay and my character would be a couple, because, I don't know, everybody else seems to eventually link up. Even fucking Buddy is out here getting some tail from Rosalind, who, by the way, is the mayor of the town that you work for in the first MySims game. She's a much bigger character in that game, and I always liked her. Whenever I would, when I had my idea for... Oh, it just abruptly stopped dancing, it's awesome. In my idea for the MySims movie that I briefly had when I was 10 years old, Rosalind was voiced by Tina Fey, which I think is completely apt. Oh, man. But yeah, quite the pathetic childhood of pining back in the day. Like, when I would play Sims 2 and, make a character, me, and then my crush. I think that was what a lot of kids did with The Sims back in the day, was, manifesting kissing on the couch. That's what video games were all about. Good times. Funny times. Anyway, next time, we're going back to Capital Island and reaping what we've sown from our travels. See you then for that.